All right, what do you do when hard work, ambition, a crazy work ethic only take you so far in your career? What happens when you hit a point, when you hit that ceiling that you don't feel you can move past? Any business CEO, any C-level executive will tell you, whether they know it or not, there is one thing that they value above anything else. It's one singular reason and one singular trait of the people that they care about the most, that they promote the most. It's the ability to execute off of the work that they are given while simultaneously being able to ask for more work. Okay, it's that one thing. But how do we do that? How do we figure out how to manage the amount of work that we all feel that we have, the crushing work that we all feel that we have? Well, for context, I'm the Chief Technology Officer of the largest mortgage company in the country, United Wholesale Mortgage, just down the street in Pontiac, Michigan. I subscribe from a technology standpoint incredibly heavily to a build versus buy mentality. That means everything that we do, everything that everybody touches is built by us. It's built in-house. I don't use vendors. I don't rely on people that are not part of my family to get anything done. So that adds a certain amount of stress and a certain amount of responsibility that comes along with that. I have 1,500 people that work in our office in Pontiac every single day to build, to secure, to support all of the things that we do. And it's happening constantly, so how do I do that? How do I manage the hundreds of projects that we have in flight every day, 7 days a week? It's this. It's being Teflon. It's having the ability to delegate. Let me tell you a quick story. When I started my career, I started at a small company. There was maybe 20 of us, and I worked myself over the 15 years that I was in that company from the lowest level in IT to being the Chief Information Officer. And as we grew, after 15 years, we went from that very small office. When I left, and after 15 years, we had over 2,000 employees. We had over 200 offices across the country, and I could count on my one hand how many IT team members that actually worked for me. So all of these employees and all of these offices, if there's anything with technology, it came to me. And I never wanted to give any of that work to any of the people that worked for me. They had their own work to do. I'd feel bad about having to do that. So I'm working 16, 18, 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. As you can imagine, that's not scalable at all, but it is for sure not sustainable. And eventually, I broke. And so when I left after 15 years, I took a job as a Chief Technology Officer at a small bank. Same kind of deal. I was incredibly excited. They had maybe 70, 80 employees, and I was going to use my experience. I said, all right, I've got 15 years. I have a blank slate. Here I go. I'm going to get started. And those those employees that were there, they had been there for a while, and they saw the technology in my title, and they called me for everything. Jason, my printer's not working. My mouse needs batteries. I can't get in this file share. I'm not sure what to do, and I'm really big on customer service. So I would answer every call. I'd respond to every email. I'd say, okay, we got it. And I would then give that to somebody more appropriate to handle that. And I heard after 3 or 4 months in passing that everybody was calling me Teflon. And they weren't saying it in a good way. They said, hey, whatever you give to Bressler, it just slides right off of him onto somebody else. And I sat back and I'm like, I have found my life's mantra. That's it. I will work every single day to be from a professional standpoint, the human version of Teflon. I will make sure that I figure out how to be able to delegate as much as I possibly can so that I can achieve what I want to achieve by asking for more work and doing more work all the time. So how do we do that? I got 3 rules. And I'll go over these rules, and I've listed them in order of importance. But I will tell you this, these rules will absolutely work for you 100% of the time, with the caveat, these rules are unbreakable. You cannot shift off of them. You can mold and shape yourself around them, but you have to follow the rules. Number 1, decide what to delegate. It is the hardest thing. Every one of you struggles with it. How do I delegate, and what do I decide what to do? Listen, human beings, by nature, it's innate in us. It's a survival instinct to always take the path of least resistance, whether we understand that we're doing it or not. So let's say you leave for the day on a Wednesday. You know on Thursday you've got 100 tasks waiting for you that need to get done. 99 of those tasks are pretty easy, but one, it's the most challenging one that you need to do. It's something that's going to use a lot of your time, and you're not exactly sure how it's going to get done, so you're getting out of your comfort zone to have to do it, and you go home and you tell yourself, I'm ready to tackle this. You wake up in the morning, you come in, and you say, I am ready, I'm going to get this done, and you open your computer and you look at those 100 tasks. You know what you're going to do? The 99 easy ones first. You will absolutely do that, and however you rationalize it with yourself, I guarantee you will. You're going to tell yourself, you know what, I'm gonna feel a sense of accomplishment if I take the next hour and just roll through these tasks and get them done, and that's gonna allow me to get on this one. Or you're gonna say, I'm gonna have these things hanging over my head if I just don't get them done first and foremost so that I can concentrate on this. I will tell you this, every second that you spend in a workday that you are not singularly focused on the most important thing that you need to accomplish during the day is a failure of your day. You need all of your brain power the minute that you start on the thing that is most difficult. You got 99 tasks, you know other people can do them, you need to start delegating those. This isn't something that you can just do overnight. It takes time. All of this has to be sustainable. You have to make sure that you follow it day after day after day. It might be innate in us to take the path of least resistance. It's up to you to fight that, okay? So you find out what it is that you need to delegate. That brings us to rule number 2. You must empower. We have a saying, maybe you've heard it, anybody can be a leader without the title. You do not need to have a team of people working for you to delegate. You don't need a title. You don't need to be a chief technology officer to have people do the things with you that you need to get done. But what you do need to do is build relationships with the people that you work with, okay? And that is the most important thing. You need to understand what drives the people that you're closest with during the day. For me, I feel very strongly, and I would venture to say for any of you, it's the same thing. Everybody wants 3 things out of their personal career. They want more money, they want more responsibility, and they want job security. That is exactly what I talk about when I need to delegate something to somebody. I will say, hey, here's the deal. I know you, you know me. I want to get here, and I need to get here as quickly as I can because I'm ambitious and I work hard, and I know you also want to move up. So listen, here's the deal. I have work that I would love to give you no matter what it is, and the more that you can do that, that frees me up to start doing this. And as I move up, you start to move up. Is this something that we can do together? Can we do this as a team? Can we figure out how to work with each other to both get what we want together? Okay, that actually starts to give skin in the game to anybody that you're gonna delegate to. Okay, you need to actually talk and understand the things that are important to them. But more importantly, once you actually do that, you have to start empowering the people that do it. Okay, nobody wants a micromanager. Nobody wants somebody standing over them saying, hey, I asked you to do this thing, and then stands over their shoulder and says, hey, did you do this? Are you doing it the way that I would do it? Because if you're not, I'll just do this myself. Don't worry about it. Nobody wants that. We need to empower creativity. We need to embrace failure for the people that we're delegating to. Nobody understands how to build a house by reading a book. The only way that you understand how to do it is by actually apprenticing with somebody and getting your hands dirty and saying, oh, that's how that works. It's the same thing when you delegate. You need to empower. You need people to understand. You're going to learn from them. They're going to learn from you. You add tools and skills to your tool belt by doing that, but you have to empower. Empowering is incredibly important, but that leads us to number 3. And number 3 is our most important, and there's a 3A and there's a 3B, but it is all about accountability, right? So now we found out what to delegate. We've delegated, we've empowered, but we can't spend our days just sending emails or making phone calls saying, hey, you know that thing that I gave you? Did you get it done? I need to know where we are with that. That's awful. You're gonna spend all your time doing that. Now those are just more tasks you have to do. So, but you need to have the accountability. You can never just give something to somebody, empower them, and just say, great, you got it, and walk away and hope that it gets done. So where does that accountability come from without giving micromanagement? I call it this. I'm not gonna take credit for the name, but I am gonna take credit for making this a living, breathing organism that all 1,500 people that work for me know that they have to do every single day. They've gotta feed the bear. I'm the bear, and I need to eat. At the end of the day, that's exactly what it is. Okay, I need to know every day from all 1,500 people what they did during the day. Not the, hey, how many times did you go to the bathroom and how many phone calls did you make? But what were the successes and failures in your day that happened? You can do this on a small scale. You can expand it out to a very large scale like I have. But in mine, everybody, I have team members filling out their Feed the Bears that go to their leaders. Their leaders then filter that out. They send it up to their AVPs. Their AVPs send it up to their VPs. Their VPs send it up to the SVPs that work for me. Every morning when I wake up, I've got 5 Feed the Bears that are detailed enough for me to understand what happened in my organization yesterday and what I need to get done today. How can I help? How can the other SVPs help each other? How can we work as a team to continue to delegate? How can I continue to delegate, clear your roadblocks, Have conversations so that we can get work done. It's feed the bear. Here's the hardest thing about feed the bear. It's why it's the most important. It has to happen no matter what. Like, I know I'm gonna date myself, but you guys ever see the movie Goodfellas? You know, when one of those gangsters ends up, taking protection, when he needs to get paid every day, it doesn't matter what happens. Oh, there was a fire? I don't care, pay me. Oh, something happened at work? I don't care, pay me. It's the same thing with the feed the bear. If I come in the morning and I'm having a huddle with my SVPs, and we sit down and I know I didn't get a feed the bear from one of them, they're like, hey, Jason, how you doing? I'm like, I'm hungry. Like, what do you mean you're hungry? I'm like, you didn't feed me. And it's like, oh, I know, but I had this thing with the kids last night. I don't care, feed me. End of the day, every single day they know they do not leave the office or they do not put their head on the pillow until I'm fed, because if I'm fed, everybody's happy down the line. Everybody's working together. That's how you delegate, and I constantly am asking for more work. I am constantly asking to take on more. That is why we are the leaders in fintech and everything that we do, because everybody subscribes to all of these things, all the way up and all the way down. You can use this with anybody at any point in any team that you have, or if you are singular and you need to start delegating, if you follow these rules, it is a guaranteed success to be able to continue to move up. The one thing that I've realized is I've been a very, very lucky person to be successful in the success that I've had. There is nothing special about me. It's just that I've become Teflon. Thank you.